Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Miss Howard, and today's video is going to be a tips kind of video for high schoolers, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. I guess to account for like freshmen and stuff, or just high schoolers in general, you know what I mean? Like tips that I've learned, like things I've learned along the way. I'm a sophomore, so I was talking about things I've learned along the way and things that could possibly help you out when you become a high school or something. Whether you're like a 8th grader going into high school, or you're like in 6th grade, like wondering, like, I don't know, like maybe these tips could help you middle schoolers out there, or even elementary schoolers. I'm not really sure, but yeah. So let's get on into the video.
Let's just be real.
Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Yeah, let's just be honest.
Let's just be real.
So the first tip that I have is finding the right friend. So basically, there's this quote that you are the 10 closest people that, bro, can you not look at me like that? I heard this quote that you are who you're gonna end up like your 10 closest people that you hang around the most. So you hang around like drug dealers. So if you hang around drug dealers, people like that, people who are bad influences, then you're most likely going to end up like them. Like, it's common sense, guys. Like, these are like literally common sense tips that I just feel like I'm just going to say because like maybe it'll help somebody. But these are literally common sense tips that I've learned. I learned this honestly truly in 5th grade, because 5th grade I was kind of like, I wasn't bad, but like my grades were like not good, and I was hanging around with the wrong crowd. And then one day during 5th grade, this teacher came up and she was like, Diavian, you know, like you know you're not like this, like you know you don't act like this. And I feel like that teacher like talking to me like changed like how I am now. So I'm not like bad. Well, of course I'm like you know, I'm mean to my sisters sometimes, and like I get smart with people, you know, but I don't do drugs and all the other stuff, and I'm not like, I don't hang around any bad friends or anything. I have good friends. So yeah, like make sure you find people like friends who will motivate you and stuff like that. Like some of my friends, like I'm glad I have I'm glad that I have friends that I have, because like for instance, like in all my classes and stuff, if I have a friend that's in the same class as me, I'll ask them like, hey, like what grade you get on that test, whatever. And if that person's like, oh, I got a 99, then I'm like, oh, I got an 89. Then I'm like, oh, I need to work and like push to get like higher than 99, like try to push and get 100. Like, so your friends should like motivate you to do better, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but honestly your friends should motivate you to do better than them, you know what I mean? Like maybe they're not like actually saying it like, hey, you know, I want you to do better than me, but like you should be taking that as like, hey, if your friend's like, if your friend says, hey, I got a 99 on the test, and you're like, I got an 89, in my head, my mind mentally goes to like, hey, I need to get this 100 on this test, you know what I mean? So that's the first tip I have. Secondly, the second tip is dealing with motivation, but honestly, you need to be motivated to wake up in the morning and go to school. If you're not motivated, honestly, don't go to school if you're not going to learn. Like if you're going to go to school to skip school, go do drugs, whatever, don't even bother coming to school. Just like quit school, you know, because you're like, there's no point. Like there's no point coming to school and skipping classes. Like your education is basically free, and I say free because technically it's not free, because your parents are basically paying for their taxes and stuff like that. But technically it's free, so take advantage of that. Like stay after school, stay before school. Like you, like honestly, like take advantage of that. Like come on guys. Like there's no way someone's GPA should be like a 1 point something. Like honestly, 1 point something, honestly. And especially if they're like athletes and stuff. Like I've seen many athletes at my school, like in general, that like are really good, but their grades are like so bad that it's just like you're not going to get a scholarship from that because your grades are not good. And which brings me to the third point. Your grades do matter in high school. Some people are like, oh no, my grades don't matter, blah blah blah. They don't really matter in middle school. Yes, they do matter, but you don't have a GPA in middle school, even though they do calculate it, but it doesn't travel onto you through high school. Although I'm pretty sure that if you were going to be valedictorian like I'm trying to do, I'm pretty sure if you guys were like tied for GPAs or something like that, they would go back to your middle school or something like that. Maybe, I'm not really sure. But so I guess middle school would matter in that case, but it still does matter, because if you want to get into like a good a good high school, you want to have good grades so you can show them like, hey, look at my grades, blah blah blah. So yeah, grades do matter, and your GPA is good. As long as you keep a 3.5 GPA and higher, you are absolutely fine. My GPA is a 4.1 right now. It's a 4.1 some. I rounded to a 4.2 because I just like 4.2 better than 4.1, you know what I mean? But yeah, like a lot of opportunities will open up for you if your grades are good. Like trust me, like they will open up for you if your grades are good. The fourth one that I have is the fourth one that I have is to just dress how you want to dress. Like honestly, school for me, like even now, is not like a fashion show. Like yes, there are some days that I like dress up, you know, I want to be cute, I want to have fun. Like on my birthday, like one day during the spring, I will wear a dress or something because I want to dress up and look cute, you know what I mean? Like just be yourself, like don't overdo it. Like don't come to school wearing like, I mean, just do you. Like if you like wearing dresses and wearing high heels to school every single day, like do you. Like you do you. Like don't tell anyone that you can't wear dresses in high heels to school, as long as your heels aren't like 12-inch heels and your dress is not like coming up your butt. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're like perfectly fine. But yeah, like some people complain at my school about the dress code and stuff, but honestly, I don't even care about I do care about dress code, but it doesn't really bother me because I'm not wearing anything that's like inappropriate for school in the first place. So I don't even, when I hear about dress code, I'm just like, just don't wear it to school. Like honestly, it's not that hard. If you know that it's too short, it's too low, your butt's showing, like just don't wear it to school. Like it's honestly not that hard. Like common sense, guys, common sense. Number 5, a tip, make sure you eat in the morning in the morning and at lunch, because I used to not eat at lunch, but now I've started. Well, I've always brought my lunch to school, but I wouldn't eat at lunch because I wouldn't be hungry. I don't know why, but yeah, but then I'll eat on the bus, you know what I mean? But also eating in the morning is very good, because now I have to wake up at 5 o'clock because we can't, yeah. I used to wake up at 6. Well, I'm gonna go back to riding to school in the car, but now I'll take the bus to school. But like eating breakfast in the morning, whether it's like yogurt, granola bar, something small, like cereal in a bag, like just eat something in breakfast, so that because your mind, if you don't eat anything, like your stomach's gonna start growling and your mind's not gonna be like focused on like school. It's gonna be focused on like, hey, I need to eat, you know what I mean? So make sure you eat something in the morning. It doesn't have to be like extravagant, like pancakes, waffles, bacon, eggs, grits, like all that stuff. It just needs to be something simple that you can eat. The 6th tip is to focus on yourself. Yes, it's good to have friends, it's good to have blah blah blah, I guess, you know what I mean? It's good to have friends and people, but ultimately once you get out of high school, none of those people who are with you in high school, well, most likely they're not gonna be doing the same thing you're doing, unless like you're like really close friends and like you guys like are like basically the same. You guys want to be like the same thing. Like most of my friends don't want to be professional basketball players, so you know what I mean? They want to be like something else. Like they don't, like they want to go to college, but not the same college I want to go to. Like I want to go to UConn or Texas or other places like that, or like possibly North Carolina. Keep yourself first. Like don't, what am I trying to say? I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Basically what I'm trying to say is, don't like do something stupid in high school that's gonna like ruin like your high school experience. So you gotta focus on yourself. Like don't let like a boy or like something take control of your mind and you forget about your grades. Like don't let your grades slip because of a boy or something. Like that boy's probably not gonna be with you like the rest of your life. So honestly, like keep yourself first is basically what I'm trying to say. Like don't put a boy over yourself. And don't put a boy over your friends either, because that's really stupid. Like, honestly, you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I don't have, like, a boyfriend or anything, so I'm not really good at giving, like, relationship advice. But from what I've seen at school, like, just don't do it. Like, you know what I mean? And which brings me to point number 7. Keep your image good. Like, don't, like, you know, like, there's so many girls at school who are being called, like, mean names and stuff. I'm like, if they want to be that way, let them be that way. Like, honestly, I've gotten to the point where I'm just, like, they know what they're doing. Like, they know how people view them when they wear stuff like that, talk like that, do stuff like that. So honestly, they know what they're doing, and they know, and they're obviously doing it for a reason. They're trying to get attention or whatever, but just you know that you don't want to be that way, so just don't be that way. Just keep your image good. Don't be like sending stuff to random people. Don't like curse at teachers, don't try to freaking, I don't even know, just stop. Like, don't get known for fights, like anything like that. Like, don't be known as like that one mean girl, bad girl, you know what I mean? Unless you want to be that way, then be that way, but I personally don't want to be that way, you know what I mean? So yeah, the 8th tip that I have is join like clubs and sports and stuff like that. That's a really, really good way to make friends. Yeah, they don't always have to be like in your high school though. Like, honestly, like, okay, so last year I did marching band. Marching band, don't get me wrong, it was a fun experience and stuff, but I didn't want to do it again. The rest, I just couldn't, I didn't see myself doing it for college. Like, I honestly looked, like, I was talking to myself, like, one day, and I was like, Diabia, do you see yourself doing this in college or, like, for the rest of your life? And I'm like, no. Like, I do not see myself doing this in college. I don't see myself doing it after college. I don't know why I'm doing it now. Plus, it was messing my GPA, because my GPA could be, like, a 4.3 right now if I hadn't taken band. So, it messed my GPA. Not like extremely, but it messed it up. I could have had a 4.3 because I'm an IB right now. But yeah, basically. So just do sports. So like, I did basketball this year. I was on JV, blah blah blah. Yeah. Yeah, but I probably won't be playing basketball next year at my school but yeah, but I'm gonna try to find like a league or something to play, because I really want to play basketball. It's just so difficult to find them because the age limit stops at like 14, or like they stops at 15, but I'm about to turn 16, so I'm just like, what is wrong with like these leagues and stuff like that? Because normally you have like AAU teams for like people like my age, I guess, you know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully by my senior year I'll have like my Hummer and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Tip number 9, I think tip number 9. I'm not really sure, it could be tip number 8, but who knows. Tip number 9, organization. Organization is really, really huge in high school, middle school, whatever, especially in high school though. Organization, like if you're not organized, like you're literally like messed up, because some teachers don't make copies, so you're gonna have to end up printing it off online. But like, what if you don't have a printer at home and then you're stuck because the library's closed the next morning or the librarian's not there? Just do your work on time, don't lose stuff. Like, have folders for things or binders, or just have like, if you like binders for each class, then have binders. If you like notebooks for each class, have notebooks, unless the teacher is specifically like, hey, you need a notebook or binder. But normally in high school, they tell you can use whatever you want that helps you, because you're like, it's your way of taking notes. Now my English teacher said you had to have a notebook. That's because she does notebook checks, so she wants everyone to have a notebook, not a binder, you know what I mean? So I get that, you know, whatever. Just make sure you're organized and make sure you're keeping everything like straight. Organization is a really huge part, because normally people who don't do good in classes and stuff, like, you look in their book bags, you look at their papers, they're always missing papers, they're always missing everything, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, organization. And then I guess part of 9 is actually come to school to learn. Like, don't come to school, like I said that previously, don't come to school to just leave school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why come to school if you're just gonna leave school in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, come to school to get to know, to learn something new each day. You know what I mean? I definitely learn something new each day that I go, especially math, because I love math. Like, math is like my subject. Like, math and history, I'm interested in those two things. Chemistry, not so much. I'm taking chemistry right now. I'm doing like okay in chemistry, not my book. I don't think I'm doing my best. I have an 8 in chemistry right now. That's for my final for my 3rd quarter grade. That's definitely not my best, but it's better. It's okay for me. Like, you know, like, at least I didn't have a C or a D or F. I have a B. So yeah, but my best, like, I don't think I've reached my full capacity in chemistry, because I don't know, with my tests and quizzes were good. I had like 86s through 93s on my quizzes and tests, but like on my homeworks I had like less than 60s on them, so I need to get better on that. So I need like reflect, you know, on that. But yeah, organization and like coming to school and learning is like a really, really, really huge part in it. And tip number 10, lastly, just have fun. Like, don't stress yourself out, you know what I mean? Like, don't do homework. Like, I mean, do homework is like, okay, don't get me wrong, do your homework, like, do your homework. Just don't like revolve, I guess you technically are revolving your life around school, but there are some days you can like take a load off and just like have fun, you know, play with your sisters, play with your dogs, like go running. Like if you play a sport, like your sport is how you get off your like your stress, you know what I mean? Like do stuff like that, like do stuff that's gonna help you. Like don't just like, if I like, for instance, let's just use an example. If Kobe Bryant played basketball all day long, like literally all day long, no eating, no talking to people, no talking to his children or anything like that, I don't think he would play to his fullest potential, because like even though you love what you do, you still need to have those other things that make you happy too. So like I like basketball, blah blah blah, but like I can't just play basketball like all day long. Like I need to like talk to friends, you know, like have like an actual social life, like, you know what I mean? Like yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Just have fun, you know, don't get caught up in like the wrong crowd, you know what I mean? Just have fun, do you, and keep those grades up, you know what I mean? Hey guys, sorry, I wanted to add one more thing that I thought was very important that I did not add. So I guess this is like the 11th one. This is something that's really like been on my mind and stuff. That's really important, I think, like over like in life in general. You need to know your why, like know why you're doing what you're doing, because when times get tough and like things and like bad things happen, like if you don't know your why, then you're just gonna like quit, give up. Like you're not gonna be pushed to keep going anymore. So know why you're like going to school. Like say like make goals for yourself. Like say, hey, I want to go to this school. Like, you know what I mean? Like say, hey, like for instance, like I want to go to UConn. Like I want to be valedictorian. Like those are my whys. Like I want to play in the WNBA. Like I want to do stuff like that. So like know your why, and that'll keep you going when like you feel like you can't go anymore. Like when people are like, oh, this will never happen, or like, you know, people are like, oh, she sucks, blah blah blah, she can never do that, blah blah blah. Like, and times get tough, like your why will keep you going when like you never thought you could go ever again. So yes, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a link, and I will leave this is a collab with my sister Chrishona, who I previously posted a video with 50 questions no one ever asked, with the 50 questions no one ever asked tag, and I will link her video in the description box down below. In her video, she talks about tips for middle schoolers and stuff, and I talked about tips for high schoolers in my video. So hope you guys enjoyed, and comment down below what grades you were in. I don't know what grades you're in, and comment down some tips that you have for high schoolers that I maybe didn't cover in this video. So hope you guys enjoyed, and bye. See you later.